What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today, as you can see, we're actually not really doing a WoW specific or Diablo or anything specific video. We're going to be talking about pyramid schemes and how to avoid them. Because basically, the reason I'm making this video is that I was contacted by somebody, I think it was like yesterday, and it was for this new pyramid scheme that's like in video games and like especially MMOs, and that's why I'm making this video. Because a lot of my viewers, that's what they play is like MMOs, and I've also seen it advertised on different pages, and it's called MMO cashout, MMO sell it, basically any variation of MMO fill in the blank. It is going to be these people, and do not trust them. This is a pyramid scheme, and I'm going to kind of explain why. Basically, the pyramid scheme that they're doing is that you pay $10, and at the same time, then you're able to get other people under you, and then those people get other people to pay $10 or a little bit more, and then the residual goes back to you. And that's kind of how pyramid schemes work, is that it all kind of flows up to the top, but everybody at each level gets a certain amount of money. It's just, I mean, there are two things that you need to know about pyramid schemes. Okay, the first one is that somebody's going to make money, and the second one is that it's not going to be you. And that's just all there is to it. You're not going to make shit from this pyramid scheme because they're going to make all the money because they're the ones that set it up. They set it up to win. They're not. I mean, they're not stupid, but at the same time, they really kind of are. Especially the ones that contacted me. Really dumb. They contacted me because of my videos, and so I figured I was like, oh, I'll see what they have to say. Maybe, I can get some exposure for my videos, whatever else. No, it says nothing like that. It was just a bunch of garbage. And basically, one thing that you can always tell whenever the pyramid scheme people are like trying to talk to you is basically they will always focus on the big picture, their vision, their idea. That's actually what they said for me, is that I don't have a vision because I don't want to give them $10 because they're not actually selling a product. And they will always talk big picture. They will never talk specifics. And if you try and get them to focus down on specifics, they'll say, "Oh, you're not thinking big enough. You need to broaden your mind." They don't have time to discuss the specifics. Very just insignificant things like how you're going to get paid and what the product is. They don't have time for that. Okay, all they have time for is to just enough time to give them $10 and they're done. Okay. And then and get them to get other people to give them $10 also. And basically they set this up, and they set up these things called like guilds. Basically, this is an MMO cash out one. This is what I'm like kind of specifically focusing on, and there's a lot of things that are just kind of the same for all pyramid schemes. But for the MMO cash out, you're supposed to set up like a guild or a clan or something like that, and people think it's the same as like how people like put together all their computing power for Bitcoin farming. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, it's just a scam. It basically they're trying to all right. Like let's pretend that there's like all right. Everybody's in Egypt. Okay, MMO cash out is Egypt. All right, and everybody's building their own little pyramids in Egypt. Okay, but what they don't know is that they're not building their own pyramids, they're just building little blocks under somebody else's pyramid, which is the people that they're giving $10 to. And it is always going to be residual. Basically, you get somebody to pay $10, and then you get $8.50, and they get somebody to pay $10, and that person gets like $6.50, and then you get 10 cents of their sale, and it's all of these residual income like accounting techniques or like math, and basically nobody gets any money except the people at the top. And one of the main this is not really a MMO cash out thing, but basically the way it works is that pyramid schemes require exponential growth to be successful, and you cannot always have exponential growth. Like there's like 2, 4, I think there's like 6, no 8, and then it goes up to like 1 million in like 5 seconds. All right. So there's no way that you're going to be able to have this exponential growth that just continues and continues and continues. So pyramid schemes always fall apart, they always implode, and that's just always how it's going to happen. And the people at the top get all the money and nobody else gets anything. Another way I can tell this is a bullshit operation is because basically the logo was made by a high school student. Now, I don't know this for sure, and I don't want to insult any high school students either, but the logo sucked. And another way that I can tell is that they use copyrighted characters on the logo. Now, I've spent some time reading about like how to design websites and like kind of different rules that you have, and also I've spent even more time reading about like copyright law and stuff like that. People think that if it's fan art, it's somehow okay. That's not true. The fan art is owned by the company that the art was the inspiration of. And so, like, let's say if somebody draws a picture of Spider-Man and they try and sell it, Marvel's not going to be very happy about that. It's the same as if they draw a picture of like Spider-Man or something like that, and then they try and put it in on like a website and they try and advertise on it, because not only is Marvel not going to be happy about that, but also like if you're advertising through like a Google AdSense account, you can't do that because it's against their policy. You can't advertise when there's unlicensed trademarked pictures or anything copyrighted on the page unless you have the proper licensing, which, let me tell you something, MMO Cashout does not. All right, they said they have the top lawyers in the country working on it. I'm just going to take a guess and I'd say that's not true. That's all I can say. It's probably not true. So with the guilds, like there's like 3 different levels. One's like a royal, I think. The other one is like, I don't know, something else like a knight, and the other one's a peasant. Okay, nobody wants to join as a peasant, so they tell everybody that they're going to be a royal. But the fact is, everybody's actually the peasant. But the people who buy into this stuff don't really know that. Because, hey, like, there's not, I've scammed a lot of people on like different games and stuff. And so I know one when I see, it takes one to know one, I know one when I see one, whatever you want to say. All right. So, I can tell. I can tell. All right. We're going to talk about some different ways to just kind of tell right off the bat if it's a pyramid scheme. Now, first reason, let me tell you something. If without even being prompted, they say, this is not a pyramid scheme or this isn't illegal, whichever one of the two, you can bet that it actually is. Okay? And pyramid schemes actually are illegal, but it's kind of hard to like tell, and basically it's kind of a gray area, and it's not like I'm going to call the police because this retard sent me a message on Facebook. You know what I mean? They're not going to do anything about it because it's hard to do it. Obviously, if you think about it, very, very indirect language, indirect pronouns. Like our vision, the company, our product, we're going to sell. Like it's hard to really get a specific answer out of anyone. And as I said before, if you try to, they're going to put you down for it and make you feel like, oh, you're not thinking big enough and maybe you're not right for this organization. When the fact is that they're trying to scam you, and a lot of this pyramid scheme stuff is all about psychology, okay? They want you to think that, oh man, I can just get in on this. This is something I've been doing my whole life, for me like gaming, or for like you, if you guys are probably watching it, it's probably the same thing. I'm finally going to be able to cash out on my skills or my gaming connections or whatever, and that's really not true. It's not going to happen. I was told that I could make 500 to, I think it was like 10,000. Maybe it was 100,000 actually dollars a week. It really doesn't matter, does it? It could have been a month or a week. That doesn't matter either because it's not going to happen. But yeah, I was told that I could make that much money just by, what is this, like inviting people to this website, and there's just absolutely no way that's even mathematically possible. And especially with the exponential thing that I was telling you guys about, like maybe if you made $500 in 1 week, you're not going to make it on the next week, and so it's not going to happen even in the absolute best case scenario, and you're at the top of the pyramid, and so it's absolutely not going to happen. And on top of that, besides the indirect language and like all this other stuff, and like the big picture stuff is very important. Always watch out for that. I don't know if it's like against the rules, but if it isn't against the rules, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chat logs that I have with these people, and I'm going to make them into like a picture, and I'm going to put them on the computer for you guys to read, so you guys can see. And like if you look at it with that perspective, maybe you can see kind of what to watch out for. Is that the person that messaged me was very stupid, bad grammar, or no grammar, not convincing at all. Very stupid person. But there are some smarter ones, but they're all relatively the same. Anyway, so besides that, there's also they use very sophisticated and like technical language. Like one of the buzzwords that they use is multi-level marketing, MLM. Okay, and MLM is BS because basically the multi-levels, the multiple levels are the different levels of the pyramid. Okay, now multi-level marketing can be real. Like it's not just a complete bullshit term. But if you hear it online, just pretty well bet it's a pyramid scheme. Okay, return on investment, fields of influence. They like to talk about how much money is in the industry that they're dealing with. I was told that I was in a $1 billion industry. Now I've been in this $1 billion industry since I've been alive. I always played video games, but I'm really waiting for my million or maybe even $1 billion check to come in the mail, but it hasn't yet because it doesn't matter how big the industry is if you're not doing anything. And like they will use other terms. Like those are just the ones that I had written down. Oh, they're going to change the industry. Now I just have a pretty good feeling that the people who talk like 8th graders and make websites like 11th graders probably are not going to change the gaming industry. But time will tell. But I'll put my bets on no. So there's also the unrealistic money expectations, the 500 to like, I don't know, like $1 million a week or whatever. It doesn't really matter. That's if you can make $500 a week, wouldn't everybody be doing this? Yeah, obviously they would. If it's too good to be true, it's not true. It's just not. Like I'm not gonna make $10,000 in a week playing video games. It's not gonna happen. Just think about it. Okay. I'm amazed that anybody can buy into this, but they do. And the main thing with MMO cash out is that there's really not a product being sold. That's what I specifically asked about. Is it what is a product being sold? Are you selling? Are they selling guides? Are they selling? I don't even know, like items, which is also illegal. You can't do that. There was a case on that with like the botting. And basically encouraging users to break the EULA is somehow also considered illegal. And so you have to be thinking about that. And so if they're a legitimate company, they can't be doing that. And so it's like there are a lot of things that the average person might not know, but I do know at least some of them. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not even close to a lawyer. But I do know a lot about this stuff because I know about like making videos and just like setting up websites, like kind of like about gaming, And so I do know a few things about that, and that is one of them. Basically, there was a lawsuit in WoW where basically I think it was like Honor Buddy or something like that got sued, and they actually lost the case because they were encouraging users to break the EULA. Another thing that Ponzi schemes will do is they'll have a self-declared very quote successful person endorsing the pyramid scheme. Now this person may be successful, and the reason that they're successful is because they made another pyramid scheme and they made a lot of money off of it, and so now they're making another one and they're doing the same thing. They're going to say, hey, you're going to make a lot of money, and you're not going to make any money because they're making all the money, because that's why they're successful. There's only so much money you can make, and as I said, it's an exponential process, and it just can't keep growing exponentially. Basically, I'm trying to think of like some of the other stuff I've written down. Again, like I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about some more basics. Please, if there's no product being sold, then you're not going to make any money, because you're not buying anything. Nobody's going to buy it. And if you're selling advertising, I said before, they can't sell advertising on the sites because the sites have copyrighted information that's not licensed. It won't work. It won't work at all. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so basically, what I'm trying to tell you guys, like we'll get back down to the basics here. Is it anything like the MMO cash out, MMO buy it, MMO list it, anything like that? It's bullshit. It's a pyramid scheme, and they're going to take your money, and you're not going to get anything back. And You might get something back. That's not true. You might get something back. But if you are one of the people that get something back, you are a minority. Okay? Do not buy into this. It is a grade A pyramid scheme. Report anything, any of it, like report it to YouTube, report it to Facebook, do anything like that. I did all of that stuff because it's absolutely ridiculous. Let me see how long this video is. Okay, it's pretty long. So I'm just going to kind of end it right here. I was going to read out some of the information, but I don't think I will. You guys can just read it if I'm able to put the link in there, and I'll also put some other links for the different bits of different websites that they have for you to go to and different videos that they have. Please, guys, be careful. Don't trust anything that you read online, especially not things that people require you to give them money to get money back. It is not an investment. It is just a scam. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and be careful.